Hey, what's up? This is Antwon here. So, recently I've seen a couple of internet flame wars / heated debates about the state of the Adidas Ultra Boost. Are they cool or are they dead and played out? That was something that I was kind of thinking about recently anyway. So I thought I would make this quick video to just kind of gather up some of the evidence each way and come to some kind of a conclusion, hopefully. Maybe. Now I realise this video makes it seem like I'm trying to justify my own Ultra Boosts, which is true, I am, but just hear me out. So Ultra Boosts came out maybe 2 years ago, something like that, with the version 1 based fashion god Kanye, I think, wore the core black version and the OG version, which are kind of the same, but they have like a blue bit here, and also the triple whites as well. When they came out, they were like, oh my god, these crazy new shoes, they're super comfortable, they look awesome as well, wow, like everyone was super crazy about them. And since then there have been a few different releases, there have been variations on the design, collabs. Alright, so first let's check out some of the evidence in favour of these being played out and dead. You take a look at the version 3.0s, for example. So the 3s have these kind of lines, like squiggly lines almost, going, like running this way down the prime knit. And I wasn't really sure how I felt about them until someone was like, they look like stretch marks. And now I can't unsee it. That doesn't really work in their favour. And I think they've also recently had a couple of bad colour releases as well. So recently they've been kind of messing about with the core formula in a way that I think isn't really working for them, and it doesn't really do the shoe any favours. Also, there have been some design changes, so there's the uncaged Ultra Boost, for example, which were designed because people were trying to cut the cages off these to like make them into a weird sock dart thing. And there was a collab uncaged Ultra Boost. I can't remember which one it was now. But that came out and people were like, oh, this is really cool. It's just like an Ultra Boost without the cage. And then Adidas officially released the standard uncaged Ultra Boost. And they are really quite different shoes. They have a much grippier foot opening here, and just generally the shape is quite different. They were kind of pegged to be quite an important release, but they've ended up sitting. People just aren't really that taken by them, I don't think. So again, they've messed about with the Ultra Boost formula, hasn't really paid off. So what else have we got kind of not really working in the favour of the Ultra Boost? Well, I kind of mentioned about variations in design, and they have come up with a lot of kind of newer boost-soled shoes, which have also proved incredibly popular. For example, the NMD, which has had a much wider mass appeal than the Ultra Boost I think ever did. And the EQTs more recently as well. So there are a couple of newer choices for shoes which kind of give a similar level of comfort. So I think for that reason, people kind of feel like, we should be jumping on these newer ones, the NMDs, the EQTs. And then the Ultra Boost, these are like the old granddads, They introduced the technology, but now other shoes are doing it better. But also, I think if you look at the shape of the shoe itself, it's certainly not as interesting as things like the EQTs and the NMDs. So I think these maybe kind of seem a little bit safe in comparison. You could wear Ultra Boosts and they just, look like this. They have the prime knit in the cage. Or you could wear the newer and more exciting NMDs. And they, the nicer ones are also prime knit. And they have, the very distinctive plugs on the side, just so you can tell people that you're hip and trendy and down with the kids and all that kind of thing. Or, you can wear the EQTs and there's like a billion different versions of them. And they've all got, crazy different shit coming over the side. And one's got a pink bit over here and, all that sort of thing. So it's perhaps not really looking that good for the Ultra Boost. They've had some unpopular design changes. They've had other models of shoe come out which have the same technology, but are perhaps cooler or at least easier to mass market. But does this make Ultra Boosts a dead, played out shoe? Well, I think to answer that question, we have to look back to the Roshe and the Huarache. The Ultra Boosts never really had the same mass market appeal as the Huarache, as the Roshe. And I think that's partly down to their price point. You could pick up a pair of Huaraches, for example, I think 80, something like that for a basic model. So while they were still expensive, I think to a mainstream consumer, still kind of within their grasp. But you can't get Ultra Boosts for under $130 unless you get some weird colour on sale or something. So that prices out, I think, a lot of mainstream consumers. And for that reason, it never really gained quite as much exposure as those shoes did. You know, these never really got to the state where it felt like everyone out there was wearing them. And it's that kind of huge mass market appeal where everyone starts rushing out to buy something. That is what really makes the enthusiasts start rejecting a particular shoe. They were never really designed to be a mass market shoe. These were a performance running shoe that kind of ended up being picked up by fashiony types. And I would also say about these that although they have had some kind of suspect variations and colorways, they have also had some really, really nice ones. Especially from the collab side, there have been some great limited versions of the Ultra Boost, and I think those will definitely at least have lasting appeal. There are things that are very unique, things that altered the original design in a really nice and interesting way. And some of the more standard colorways as well, like these ones for example, definitely have wardrobe staple appeal. You know, there's not really anything offensive about these. You can just chuck them on and it's not really a problem to wear them. So all in all, you know, are these the amazing cool shoes that they were kind of 2 years ago when they first came out and it felt like everyone was wearing them? You know, perhaps not. Maybe they're not as hyped, certainly. But are these kind of dead and certified uncool? I would say definitely not. The older models and the collabs especially do have that lasting appeal. And I think there's only a limited amount that the kind of suspect newer design changes can influence how cool or how desirable these older ones are. I'm sure people will disagree about this one, so you know, if you're kind of the other opinion, maybe you used to think these were cool and now you really hate them, or maybe you never liked them, then do let me know. I'd kind of like to hear what people think about these, to be honest. I do still wear them a lot, so yeah, I'd like to hear your opinion. As always, thank you so much for watching. Do leave me a like if you enjoyed the video. I do appreciate it. It's super helpful. And yeah, that's everything. So I will catch you in the next video. Welcome to the best part of the video, the end. Congratulations on making it this far. There will be links and stuff going up around there somewhere to other videos if you want to check those out, as well as a link to subscribe. So if you enjoyed this video, you want to see some more, then you can do that.